Somewhere right now, somebody you never met is making a judgment about you. A hiring manager, a judge, a woman you haven't met yet. And they're not reading your resume. They're not listening to your story. They're scrolling through you. Through every loud, angry 2 a.m. thing you ever posted and forgotten about. And here's the part that should bother you. They've already made up their mind, and you'll never even know it happened. See, and I mean nobody ever lost a job, a relationship, or a future because they kept their mouth shut online. But men lose all three every single day because they couldn't. The internet is a permanent background check, and you volunteered for it. You wrote it, you filmed it, and you hit post. So the real question isn't whether they're watching, it's whether you're handing them the rope or holding it yourself. Welcome to The Useful Man, a channel about learning, growing, and staying useful in a world that gets stranger by the day. These are the field notes of life, not fantasy life, not privileged life, not influence life, just real life. These videos are about learning, growing, and becoming more capable in the world around you. I don't have a single person on any of my social media accounts that I've never met in real life. Not one. And every time I tell people that, they look at me like I've lost my mind. Maybe I have. But I think social media is one of the few places in history where people voluntarily hand strangers to the keys to their self-esteem. And they wonder why they're miserable. Because after a while, I noticed something strange. The people you watch become the voice in your head. And the things that you reward eventually reward you back. And whether you realize it or not, you're building karma algorithm every single day. Every name on my friends list is somebody I have shaken hands with, sat across from at a dinner, a lunch, hung out, had a beer, or we shared some real activity with. That's my rule. And every time I tell people that, somebody calls me cold, paranoid, antisocial, or out of touch. Maybe they're right. Maybe I am. But then again, I don't give a flying flip. This is my life, not theirs. But while others are handing out pieces of their attention, privacy, emotions, and reputation to complete strangers, I've noticed something. The less access strangers have to my life, the more peace I seem to have in it. And that's not an accident. Because sooner or later, the people around you start shaping what you think is normal. And if you're not careful, you'll wake up one day living by rules you never consciously agreed to. Today, I'm going to show you the filter I use, why I use it, and how it protects my sanity, my focus, and my sense of self online. What started as a social media rule eventually became a life rule. Because after a while, I noticed the same pattern showing up everywhere. The people around you influence you. The things you consume influence you. The ideas you reward influence you. And if you don't have some kind of filter, sooner or later, you're going to find yourself living somebody else's priorities instead of your own. Now, before anybody starts typing an angry comment about how I hate technology, let me save you the effort. I don't. I use the internet every day. The internet is a tool. I made this video, right? The problem is that most people treat it like a neighborhood when it's really more like a circus. I mean, think about it. You've got your ringmaster telling everybody what they should be paying attention to. You've got your clowns. You've got your sideshows. You got your snake oil salesmen. And somehow everybody under the tent is convinced that they're the only sane person there. The funny part is, most people think they're choosing what influences them. Well, sometimes it's true, but sometimes they're just wandering through the circus collecting opinions like free samples at the grocery store and wondering why their head feels so crowded. So today, I'm going to show you the simple rule I use. Who gets in, who doesn't. Why I made that decision, and why this isn't really about social media at all. It's about protecting your peace, your focus, and your good name before the internet convinces you to trade it away, one click at a time. And this is something I strongly believe in. And that's what karma algorithm is all about. It's not some fancy computer term. It's a simple idea. Actually, I think I just created it. Every click teaches the machine something about you. And every suggestion the machine gives back teaches you something about yourself. That's algorithm. Karma is life collecting on your promises you made with your actions. The algorithm is life showing you more about what you've been choosing. One remembers what you've done, the other amplifies what you're doing. And you're standing right in the middle. You click on outrage, so it gives you more outrage. You click on fear, so it gives you more fear. You click on gossip, and as you guessed, it gives you more gossip. And after a while, people start acting like the algorithm did something to them. Maybe, but let's be honest, you taught it first. The algorithm is basically that one friend who keeps bringing you exactly what you ordered even after you should have stopped ordering it. That's the deal you're making. And after enough repetitions, that little feedback loop starts becoming normal. That's the dangerous part. Not because the internet is evil, not because technology is evil, because normal is contagious. You spend enough time around anything, and eventually it starts feeling reasonable. That's true with people. It's true with habits, ideas, and definitely true online. That's why I built rules. You need boundaries online, real boundaries, not fake boundaries where you say, oh, I'm taking a break from social media. Then you're back on there 14 minutes later, arguing with someone named Superwolf 1876 over lawn signs and gas prices. I mean actual boundaries. One of the biggest things I ever did for my own sanity was creating rules for social media, and I live by those rules. I'm not a hypocrite about this. My social media pages are for family and real friends, period. And when I say family, I mean actual family, blood relatives, in-laws, cousins, people you grew up with, people you sat around tables with at holidays and reunions and backyard barbecues for years. Real people. And when I say friends, I mean real friends, not coworkers, not random people from high school you haven't spoken to in 27 years, not somebody you exchanged memes with twice during COVID. I mean, people who are actually part of your life. We've had beers together. We've played darts. We went fishing, shot pool. We've had wings at Hooters. You've been over to my house. I've been to yours. That's a friend. Sure, coworkers can become friends. Schoolmates can too. Absolutely. But to me, there's a difference between somebody I know and somebody who's actually part of my real life. I've actually had these conversations with people at work about this. And honestly, it's one of those moments where you just got to be direct with people. You have to be direct or it's not going to work. And you have to be direct without being an arse about it. Okay. People come up and say, hey, Liam, how come you never added me on Facebook? And I tell them straight up, yeah, I saw your request. I ignored it. Now that usually gets a laugh or they look at me like in complete shock. And I explain it and I say, listen, I like you just fine. We get along great at work. We joke around. We make the day go by faster. And I appreciate that. But I have rules about my social media. And I tell them this. Once we start hanging out outside of work, absolutely, I'll add you. We'll go get wings somewhere, have a few beers, shoot some darts, watch a game. We'll do something in real life. Then yeah, now we're becoming actual friends instead of just coworkers standing around the same copier for 8 hours trying not to lose our sanity. And here's the honest truth. I don't know how you act online. Maybe you're completely normal. Maybe you're straight as an arrow. Or maybe every third post is some unhinged, emotional nuclear meltdown. And now you're arguing with my Aunt Linda about politics at 2 o'clock in the morning. And somehow I'm the one getting the phone call from Aunt Linda the next day defending you. I don't need that kind of chaos showing up at the family barbecue section of my life. So I'm not trying to be rude about it. I'm just careful about who I allow in my personal world. And honestly, most people completely understand it. I've never really had anybody get angry about it because I'm upfront and I'm respectful. And I'm saying I like you. But friendship, real friendship, takes time. And the funny thing is, sometimes that conversation actually creates real friendships. Somebody eventually says, "Hey man, you want to go grab some wings after work?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, let's go." And once you understand that difference, social media becomes way less stressful. I learned this lesson the hard way a long time ago on MySpace. Some of you younger people probably don't even know what MySpace was, but trust me, it was chaos. I was younger, dumber, more emotional, and I absolutely got caught up in all the nonsense. Now I'm older, a little less dumb, and I got slightly better control of my emotions. But one thing never changed: fake people and fake relationships that come with fake attention. You're sitting there thinking some beautiful woman online is deeply interested in you. Meanwhile, the account is probably run by some 45-year-old dude in his parents' basement surviving on microwave burritos and Wi-Fi. The internet was weird back then. And honestly, I think it still is. But eventually, I got exhausted by all of it, and I walked away from social media completely for years. And honestly, after that weird adjustment period, my life got quieter, simpler, and better. No dopamine addiction, no checking likes every 5 minutes, no wondering who commented on what, no emotional roller coaster tied to notifications. I was just living life again. And you realize pretty quickly how peaceful life gets when you stop performing for strangers. So when I eventually came back to social media, I came back with rules. And those rules changed everything. Small circle, real people, low drama. And here's another rule that surprises people. My wife has her friends. I have mine. Now, obviously, her family is my family and my family is hers. That's how marriage works. But just because somebody is her friend doesn't automatically make them my friend. And just because somebody is my friend doesn't automatically make them hers. Now, don't get me wrong. We know each other and we may like each other just fine. But friendship and familiarity aren't the same thing. I've met plenty of my wife's friends over the years. They're good people, but they're her friends. Just like my fishing buddy, my dart buddy, or the guy I've been complaining about lawnmowers with for 15 years is my friend, not necessarily hers. Nobody's hiding anything. It's just, it works better. And honestly, keeping those little circles separate eliminates a lot of unnecessary drama. I don't need a dopamine hit because somebody else's friend liked my vacation pictures, and my wife doesn't need to be dragged into every conversation, argument, opinion, or circus act that shows up on my side of the internet. It keeps things simple. It keeps things clean. And it keeps the karma algorithm from constantly introducing new people into your life just because you happen to stand in the same room with them once. That's my way of interpreting the karma algorithm before it starts writing parts of my life for me. That's it. Another thing I do, I turn every social media notification off on my phone. All of them. Facebook especially. I don't need my pocket vibrating every 6 minutes because somebody I haven't spoken to since 2009 had pancakes at Denny's or posted an inspirational quote over a blurry sunset picture. That's not an emergency. That's not life-changing information. That's noise. And noise wears your brain out over time. I want peace and quiet. At least that's what the voices in my head tell me. I want to think my own thoughts once in a while without a little electronic device demanding my attention every 13 seconds. And my attitude is pretty simple. If something is truly important, you should already have my phone number. Call me. If the world is ending, don't communicate it through a minion meme on Facebook. Pick up the phone, dial my number, and call me and tell me I need to run and take cover. And here's the thing people really need to understand. Likes do not equal self-worth. If I post something and 4 or 5 people like it, great. I appreciate it. But I don't need 4,700 strangers clicking a thumbs up button because I posted some outrage meme about politics, celebrity drama, or 2 rich idiots congratulating each other on a red carpet somewhere. Just so I can feel important for 6 minutes? That doesn't improve my life. It doesn't pay my bills. It doesn't strengthen my marriage. It doesn't make me a better man. It's fake dopamine. And if your entire self-worth rises and falls based on strangers clicking a button online, then the internet owns you. Now, granted, on YouTube, those likes actually help creators battle the algorithm. Creators like me. So I'll gladly accept your charity there. But if you don't set boundaries, the internet can consume your sanity one notification at a time, one click at a time, one notification at a time, one little vote in your personal karma algorithm at a time. If you got thoughts on this or your own rules for surviving social media without losing your mind, leave a comment below. After all, this is a place where people should be able to speak to each other. And maybe you've got some hard rules that might help somebody else. Share that idea here in the comments page. And if we get enough of them, maybe we'll revisit the topic. We'll talk about them, the top ones. Thanks for spending some useful time with me. I'm signing off now. So remember, don't run with scissors. Don't stick your head out of a high-speed locomotive. And for the love of God, no singing at the table. If you like this sort of content, hit the subscribe button because I got some great stuff coming. I'll catch you on the next one.